Welcome back to Credit Nerdy with your boy Genius, presented to you by Kyronic Financial. As we have been discussing odd inquiry in our previous video, we dealt with odd inquiry, getting odd inquiry removed that are tied to open account. As I have shown in the previous video, that the laws allow us to know that credit-related inquiry is supposed to be on your credit file for 1 year, but the credit bureaus abuse us, violate us in regards to this, and hold it on our file much longer. But for today's video, we want to discuss the removal of odd inquiry that are not tied to any account. This video will not be a long one. We see a lot of videos online that promises to get odd inquiries deleted in 24 hours, and that can be done. But in most cases, what we are told to do, on the one hand, is either to call into the bureaus and lie to them concerning the inquiry, or in extreme cases, we are told to file the FTC identity theft report and use that report to get the odd inquiry removed. All of those work, but there's one thing that no one is actually warning you about in regards to using an FTC report. If you don't understand, which I see people online teaching this all over, and they're not explaining to you what a FTC identity theft report is. An FTC identity theft report is a sworn affidavit, which means it carries legal ramifications. If the FTC can prove that you actually made a false statement on that report, you can end up in jail. There are cases of this that take place. I'm not going to really give the name. You can search on YouTube and you will really find this. You have this young man who had a credit repair business, and he was using the FTC report to clean individuals' credit, and FTC came in on him and he was sent to jail. You have also those who tell you to get a police report, which again is another sworn statement that can land you in jail. You have another famous case again with this young lady that owned a credit repair business that were using police reports to clean credits, and it was uncovered. Her case was extreme because she were actually making the statements and creating police reports herself. So those routes you might get by, but you might not get away. You can get these odd inquiry off because of procedural stipulations that are in the FCRA. And that is where we can use the law. What we stand for here over in Chiron, you don't have to lie. Sorry for the noise in the background. I am actually on the move while I'm making this video, so sorry for the noise in the background. Just forgive me for that. Back to the point, and I digress. You don't need to lie or make stuff up to actually get the benefits of the law and to get things off. People will tell you that once something is legitimate, it cannot be removed. You look on government websites, you look on more formal articles from these corporations, and that's not true. So how would you get an odd inquiry off real quick? That is based on the law. Once it's not tied to an account. As I said, look at my previous video and you will see how to get odd inquiry off that is tied to an open account without getting the account closed. Because that is the key, not to get the account closed once it's tied to an account. This video is about removing odd inquiries that are not tied to account. Remember again, some of what we used in the previous video can be used in this case. If the odd inquiries and it's not employment related, credit related, which is what is on most of our credit reports, if it is not tied to an account, and even if it's tied to an account and it's more than a year old, that is ground for you to get it removed, as I have shown in the FCRA disclosure section, and I also showed, just go back and watch that video, and I show you what the CFPB said, that credit-related inquiry plus the section that has to do with this disclosures in the FCRA tells us that inquiries, even though it doesn't use that word, but if you know what you're seeing, you know it's speaking about inquiries. It's describing what is in the file when a consumer requests your file. And non-employment related inquiries should last for a year. So that is one grounds to get inquiry off that is not tied to an account. If the inquiry is there for more than a year and it's not tied to an account, it's a credit related inquiry, you can use that to get it off. The second way that you can use to get it off, which is the more forceful one, it is permissible purpose section of the FCRA. Section 604 that deals with permissible purpose. As I detailed in the previous video, that an inquiry is showing you who access your credit file. Now, when they access your file in section 607, there has to be certification that the user of your file show that gives them the right to access your file. No one should access your file unless you have given them permission to do so in writing. In writing. Now, the Bureau has to prove that you have given permission to any corporation that have accessed your file in writing. In most cases, they are not getting these certifications, are being stringent in receiving the certification before they give access to your file. So on this technical ground, you are able to get the hard inquiry removed that is not tied to an account. So you will basically construct your letter as I have mentioned in a previous video in our hard inquiry packet. The letters are constructed with this sort of information in it. The link to the packet, our hard inquiry packet, will be in the description below, and it is also in our previous video. Now, it's like, sorry for the analogy, but I'll use this analogy. It's like the cop pulling you over in your car, and you have something in your car that you shouldn't have, something probably illegal. And I don't want to really even use that analogy, but it makes sense. And they didn't have a warrant, and they searched your car, and they found something that is illegal. It is not the case that something wasn't illegal and you weren't associated with it. But because the cop searched your car without a warrant, then under technical grounds, the case has to be thrown out. The same is true with the inquiries. When an inquiry is on your credit file, there are several things that has to take place. One, you have to give access by signing off and giving permissible purpose, and it has to be under the cases that are listed in the same section. What are the cases under which your credit file can be pulled? Now, when you give permissible purpose, in order to protect you, where it's not one-sided, the FCRA makes it clear in section 611 that there must be 611 has to do with certification of accuracy. That has to do with reinserted account, which I will do a video coming up shortly on the reinserted account. But what reinserted account meaning accounts that were deleted and was brought back to your file without you even knowing. You just see it reappear. That's section 611. But we'll deal with that in another video. And we also have a packet that deals with that to show you how to actually get those accounts off that was coming back. And all of these packets are letters that we use when we're doing credit repair. Okay, so we do also repair. So if your credit needs help, you can contact us at tyrannyfinancial.com. Make your free consultation, and we will actually work on you. These letters are the letters that we use to actually clean our clients' credits. Now back to the point. You can do this yourself if you follow what I'm telling you. You can buy the packet, do it yourself, or you can basically use our service to help you clean your credit than to do it if you're not that confident or comfortable doing it yourself. Now, as I said, on the basis of when you give permissible purpose, which must be in writing, so they have to prove that you have given permissible purpose in writing, which the bureaus don't really follow this. There's a lot of things that the bureaus do that violates us. And I don't want us to get frustrated and say, oh my God, I am not going to, this is not working because it's not working. No. There are times, all the time, let me not say times, all the time when the bureaus of corporations violate us, violate the law, and you are writing to them and they are telling you no, and they're using and giving all kind of stupid reasons to continue to violate you. This is how the law works. When an inquiry is in your file, you have to give permission for purpose for that to be there. Secondly, the user, the creditor that pulls your report has to give a general or a specific certification as required under 607 of the FCRA to prove that yes, you have given them this. A lot of times they will not be able to provide this because they are not following proper procedure. And if they do, it's usually not in line with what the law requires. And a lot of times the way these transactions are moving fast, the bureaus are not even making sure that everything is done accordingly. So it's on these grounds. They have to prove that you have given permissible purpose, and they have to prove that certification was granted by, whether general or specific certification, was granted by the creditor in order for that inquiry to be there. So it's on this ground, this technical ground, which would be similar to a warrant, basically. The certification would function like a warrant. Yes, they have given me permission, here it is in writing. I have had permission to do it. So it's not just one thing that has to be actually proven, and they have to actually prove that you have given them permission in writing under Section 604. So it's not just to say, yes, you did. So it's on these grounds we can delete inquiries very quickly without ever putting ourselves in jeopardy by filing false police report or false FTC report. You can go ahead and list the individuals that are telling you to do that, but just understand that the ramifications of that possibility exists, that you can go to jail over doing it. And that is why I said in my previous video how to get things off without going to jail. So make sure that you are not following this, because what you do when you file a FTC report, it's a sworn affidavit, which means it's a legal document. And when you are closing out that report, you have to swear on the prejudice, on the affirmation that you are not lying. And once they can prove that you're lying, you have yourself some problem on your hands. So this is a way to do it without telling lies or getting yourself. The burden of proof is on them to prove that you have given it in writing and that you have they had permissible purpose. And you can do this both with the creditor and the bureau. You can attack the bureau first if you want, and you can also attack the creditor on these grounds. Because most of what I'm telling you in these videos with inquiry, you can tackle both the creditor with a direct dispute or the bureau with an indirect dispute, and make sure that you get what is there off, because they have to follow certain procedure in the law, which in most cases they are not following the procedure. Because when they are processing hundreds of millions of transactions throughout the day, they have the time to make sure that all of this kind of thing goes through. And a lot of the companies are not following the procedures either. They don't even have the reasonable procedures in place a lot of time to make sure that they're following all of these things. So that is it. I will end right here. I never expected to be here this long. But it's your boy Genius, again with Credit Nerdery, Ironic Financial. The auto inquiry removal packet with the letters will be in the link in the description below. You can use these, just modify the letters to help yourself if you want to do it yourself. We have the late payment removal packet. We have the collections removal packet. We have the reinserted account removal packet. All of that. Just go to Ironic Credit Products and you will find all of these packets, and we are continuously adding new products. And as I said, I am here to give you the game. I am not here to look fame. I am here to give you the game so that you can help yourself. You don't have to use our service. And if you listen to what I'm saying, you can create the letters yourself just using the information that I'm giving you. If you don't want to do that, you want something that is ready-made, letters that are constructed to deal with creditors, constructed to deal with the bureaus. All of that is there. Follow-up letters. If you write them and they don't respond, there are letters there to follow up with in terms of what they can respond, because there's a limited amount of ways that they can respond, and the letters are there to make it easier for you. So have a wonderful day, and may the peace of God be with you. Grace, peace, be multiplied. Fix your credit, get your life together. Keep it going. Irony Financial out. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share.